Alright guys, so here is Optimus Prime. Now he does come with a couple of accessories, so let's take a look at them first. Alright, so Optimus does come with his OG looking G1 blaster, which is pretty nice looking. There is no gimmick to it. It does not fold up, does not hide away anywhere, but it looks pretty nice. Nice and big. There is some details in there which look pretty good. It fits in his hand really nice and snug, so you should not have a problem at all with him holding it. And there he is, right there, ready to blast some Decepticons. Next up right here, he does come with a battle axe, which is pretty nice looking. It has a nice black, silver, and gray color scheme to it. There is a Autobot symbol in the middle right there, which looks pretty nice in black. There is different possibilities with this thing, what you can do. First off, of course, he can't hold it in his hand, in either hand that is, and it fits in nice and snug, so he can battle with that. You can take it out, of course, and actually this one folds up. So what you could do with this one is fold the blades in, which is pretty nice. They hide away pretty nicely as well. There are tabs in there so you can get them out if you need that. And then you fold it up like so. And actually you can stick it onto his arm so it acts as a shield, which is pretty nice. So you do have that option right there if you choose to do that. Lastly, if you want to, as it is in the instructions, you could put it on the gun if you want to and make some kind of weird design like that. Now when it comes to storing the blasters and the weapons, you can actually put them on the back right there. There are two pegs. I'm not sure if it's really meant for it, but you can do that. It might add a little bit more bulk, but at least you have them stored away. Alright, so first off, I'm going to go straight into size comparisons because I love Voyager class Optimus Prime figures and I'm a big collector of those. So first off right here we have the MP10V third-party Optimus Prime right there. Basically like a Masterpiece Voyager class Optimus Prime, which is pretty nice, but it is kind of big still. This is the Voyager class Prime figure Optimus Prime. Pretty standard one. Actually, this is might be exclusive, I forget, but whatever. And this is from, I believe, the Transformers movies Optimus Prime. Right there. So, decent size, not bad. He is the smaller of all these three I have right here. But he does rock the G1 look. So if you want to take this one out and compare him to these, the sport the flat nose truck, you have that right there. Now for another size comparison, we have the Megatron from the Save Wave right here, which is a little bit smaller, not that much. We're just nitpicking. Pretty much they are the same size overall. And we have a Voyager class Galvatron right here, which is one of my favorites. So they actually stack up pretty nicely. I like the size comparison right here. That Galvatron is just a little bit taller overall than Optimus. And here is Starscream from the Voyager class wave of the same or previous line right here, which is a nice size too. Starscream is just a tad taller overall, which honestly I don't mind. He's a fighter jet for God's sake, so he should be bigger. But overall it looks pretty nice. And for fun, on the bottom right there, I stuck a Mega Bloks figurine right there, minifigure, because I think they stack up pretty nicely with the Voyager class figures overall. A little bit bulky on the bulky side, but you can still get a nice stance of how big they are. Alright, so what to say about this figure? You know, he's a nice looking G1 looking Optimus Prime. I don't have a lot of negatives to say, but let's get into some that I could point out right away. First off, of course, it's the kibble. The kibble in the back, I don't mind this because you do see that on a lot of Voyager class Optimus Prime, something they can't just ignore basically. So it's not as bad as some in the past, so I can't forgive that. I could forgive that. However, what I hate a lot is over here the arms. This I really do not like a lot, this little fin right here. I guess sometimes you can't get around that and it just happens to always be there from the transformation, but looking straight on he looks fantastic. No real complaints how he looks like as a G1 Optimus Prime figure, that is. I'm not really sure if he's supposed to be exactly like a G1 because in his alt mode there is a little bit difference in there. But either way, it looks really nice still. Now one thing I do love about this figure is the head sculpt. The head sculpt is really nice looking, very modern G1 looking, but modernized, if that makes sense. It has a really nice indent in the eyes. They go pretty deep in there as well. I wish there was some more paint apps over on the side there, but that's just nitpicking. Overall, the blue is very vibrant looking, and nothing to really complain about. This figure does have a color scheme to it. I guess you could say weathering job. I guess there's a lot of gray marks all over the figure, symbolizing, I guess, weathering. Not the greatest though, in my opinion. You could take it off. On the bottom right here, I was experimenting actually, so I took some off over here, and maybe I will show you guys later how I did that. So if you're not a big fan of all this gray and silver paint apps on it, you could definitely take it off, which is not a problem. But other than that, looking at the figure himself, he looks fantastic, very nice looking, very clean. The sculpting is fantastic. I like inside there. Looks pretty nice. Inside the windows, they have a little bit of a design. It does open up, actually. Let's take a look at that. However, there is no matrix in there. It's all part of the transformation for its head to go down. But at least it does open up, so it's pretty nice. And if you go down there, everything looks pretty solid. Except for the kibble on the arms and the back. Everything looks pretty good. Here is the legs, tires, and the feet. Alright, so going to articulation really quickly, he does have a ball joint in the head. It does go up a little bit, which is pretty decent. I think you'll be happy with that. Doesn't go down that much though, pretty much just straight. It does pivot left and right a little bit on the angle, so you do like that. And it goes left and right, no problems there. On the shoulders, they do have a little bit of a butterfly joint because of the transformation, but you can utilize that for articulation. So that's pretty nice to always have that. Overall, pretty standard. It goes up and down right there. Over here at the smokestacks, they do move up, so you can move the arms up, which is pretty nice. So you do have some range right there, which is good. Bicep swivel, of course. He does have an elbow joint that goes past 90 degrees, so that's pretty nice as well. And at the wrist, he does have a swivel. Now going down to the waist right here, he does have a swivel at the waist, so that's always nice to have. No complaints right there. At the hips, he does have T-jointed hips. They go about that far up, not quite 90 degrees, so pretty good enough. These don't flap up like, you know, the Masterpiece one, so you kind of limit it a little bit, but it's not horrible at all. Split-wise, all the way. He does have a thigh swivel in there too, so that you'll like that. He also has one joint on the knee, but it's really good for one joint, past 90 degrees, almost all the way to the back. And also does have a swivel there at the knee, so you have multiple swivel joints for him to pivot on his legs. Now at the feet, he does have kind of a pivot right there. It only goes downward, but the toes don't really move. They move inward for the transformation like that, but they don't go upward, which is kind of disappointing. I would like at least a little bit of movement right there to give some better articulation and posing, but you don't get that. But with that being said, however, you still can get him in nice poses because of the ankle pivots, and his feet are really big too and wide, so you shouldn't have a problem posing him. He's pretty light as a figure himself, so you can actually kind of, if you had the right angle, have no problem posing him, even though his toes aren't flat directly on the ground. The other foot is really wide enough to pretty much stabilize the figure. No problems there. So once again, despite having no toe articulation really, and also at the hips, a little bit limited, but not that much, you can still get some good poses out of him. Alright, so overall it's a pretty nice looking figure. There are a couple of drawbacks in my opinion. First, there is no toe articulation, but it's not the worst in the world. The back kibble isn't bad too. I do hate the kibble underneath the forearms. I just hate that a lot. Looking straight forward, it's not that bad, but you know, it might get to you, it might not. Who knows? Overall, everything else is pretty nice. The range in the arms aren't the greatest. They don't go all the way in, so you can't really like hold his gun with two hands, which I know a lot of people like to do too. So it's pretty much a one-handed gun pose for him, like that. But yeah, so that's about it, guys. I like the figure a lot. What do you guys think about it? If you want to see the transformation, stay tuned. I will have it at the end as a bonus video. And yeah, if you want to know how I got the paint off, I will do another video on that, because I'm going to do for him and for Megatron right there, because that looks ugly. But overall, that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the transformation at the end. And if you don't, thanks for watching. And like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want to pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Peace! Alright guys, it is time to transform him. It is 27 steps, and it is a ugly 27 steps. Just kidding. But you guys know how much I hate transforming on camera. But it's not that bad. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty self-explanatory. But here we go. So first off, what you want to do is start with the legs. And what we want to do is fold them backwards like that. I don't really go in any particular order, but whatever. Then you want to fold his toes down like that, and then you want to fold this up on both sides like so, unhinge it, and there you go. Next you want to fold them in, and fold these over like that. And then from there you can clip them together. Nice. Make sure the thighs are kind of straight also. Now while you're back here, actually what they say to do right here is to flip these two panels up. But I find it to be a little bit harder. So before you stick the legs together, you can actually flip these up a little bit easier, like that. And then you can stick the legs together. Because sometimes they're not. So you have that done. Next, what you want to do, you can kind of fold them up a little bit just to get into position. But next, what you want to do is fold this part up straight. So you can do that. And let's go to the front right here. And then you want to kind of keep the arms bent for the time being, like that. And then you want to fold them back just a little bit, not all the way though, because you're not ready yet. You want to open up this, like so. Bring down the head like that. Tuck it in. Right here, you want to flip this around. I should have done that before actually. Like that. Fold this up, fold this down, fold that down, and fold this out. Like so. So this is where you are right now. And now you could actually start working on the arms. Fold this out, fold that out. And you kind of could, right now, if you want to, tuck the arms back just a little bit, like that. Alright, you're getting there almost. Next, what you want to do is bring down the wheels right here. At this point, you want to be completely straight, like that, in the back, so you can bring down the wheels a little bit easier. If this is in the way, just fold in. Bring that out, fold them down, keep them flat for now, and then you bring down this. It all comes together now. And now you can bring in the arms like that. I'm telling you, it's an ugly transformation, but it all come together in the end. So next we want to do is fold this part up, like so, the doors, on both sides. So everything starts coming together now, like that. And then you can bring this part in and tab it in on both sides right there. So everything is pretty nice and flush together. Then you close the front windows, like so. Bring the wheels up on both sides, and now you could take this part and the tab right there, right here, and you close it in. Right there. Nice snap. And you got Optimus in vehicle mode. Alright, so here's Optimus in his vehicle mode. It's not that bad looking, it rolls pretty nicely, no problems there. It looks nice. He does have this little top over there, which not a lot of people are fans of, to be honest. That's why I wasn't sure if this is like a G1 Optimus Prime or before when he was on Cybertron. I'm pretty sure if this wasn't there and it was flatter, the back kibble wouldn't be as bad, but it is what it is pretty much. But overall, it looks pretty nice. No real complaints about it. In the back right here, you can store his weapons if you want to do that. There's a little peg right there. So you can store this like that if you want that. But I think a lot of people would just pretty much have his gun in there, which is pretty normal for a lot of people. There's a bit of a gappage in there. You can't store the gun the other way. The peg won't fit. If you want to, of course, you can store everything the way they had it before, like that. Looks kind of ugly though. And of course, there are two pegs on top if you really want to stick the cannon up there, because that looks just awesome, right? Yeah. And there are different pegs all over the place, so you can mix and match if you really want to, which I know people, no one will, but you do have the option. And for another size comparison, here is that little minifigure with Optimus Prime. You know, he's still a big guy compared to it, since it is a big giant truck. So not the best looking right there overall. But in alt mode, I think it is a lot better comparison. Alright, so let's quickly change him back to robot mode as quickly as possible. Let's make it ugly. So first off, do everything in reverse. Unhook these, unhook that. You gotta unhook all the panels here. It'll work a lot better if you had nails, but man, I really don't have any nails. So this is gonna be ugly. Maybe I can do it like that. Yeah, that's better. There you go. There you go. Now let's bring this up. And then next we want to bring down the tires right here. Spread this out. Open the doors. And bring this up. Get that out of the way. Yeah. Alright, bring up the head. Close that up. Bring out the arms. Get the arms out of the way. Transforming him to robot mode is a lot easier because everything is so much more easier to see. Bring the tires in. Bring the tires in, straighten them up like that, break up the legs, swing them around, fold that down, swing it around, fold this down. Let's go to the back right here. Now this could get a little tricky right here because this part has to go back over here, and on mine they're always so stuck. Alright, this one was pretty easy. Not bad. Fold that, fold this forward, close that up. Let's see this one. This one's stuck. There you go. Fold that down. Clip this in like that. Alright. Fold down the toes. Fold down the toes. We're almost there. On top over here, you want to fold this down and fold that in. Fold that down. Rotate it. This part, fold it inwards toward his body. It won't go the other way. And fold that down, fold that down. And this part actually clips in the back there, so you gotta fold it in perfectly. And it'll go in there. And there you go. Robot Optimus Prime. Alright, so if you actually stayed to the end and watched the whole transformation, thumbs up to you guys. I actually really hate doing transformations on reviews. I think it's just ugly and it takes so much time, but I feel like I have to do it. That's why now I'm sticking it toward the end of the video. So if you choose to stay and watch it, you can. But if not, the review of the figure will be toward the beginning. But yeah, so that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. And like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want, pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Peace!